building freaks, fans, and friends. It's the Pope of Plastic here from Harry's spectacular model show here at the Elks Lodge in Franklin, Massachusetts. Thank you, Steve. So we're going to give you a little tour today. This is going to be a little special video, not an unboxing video. We're just going to walk around. We're going to see what's here. If you didn't get to make it here for this year, hopefully you can come back next year. There's actually a few shows that go on every year, and this will give you kind of an idea of what happens at one of Harry's fantastic model shows. So, Steve, you want to go with me through the hall here?
Here we go.
Let's see what we got here. We'll just kind of randomly look at stuff. First table. Some beautiful stuff. A lot of cars here, Steve. I'm seeing a lot of car models and some really good stuff. Stuff that's really interests me that I may want to take home with me. But a lot of great stuff. A lot of vintage stuff in here. So let's go down here. I'll show you one of the models. All these Formula One car kits. These are all the Hasegawa. These are kind of hard to find sometimes. So Hasegawa did a lot of F1 cars. Here's another one right here. I think that's the same. Is that the same car? I don't know. But lots of cool stuff. Beautiful Mercedes. Who's this? Is this to me? No, that's a Fujimi. Fujimi makes really good car kits, by the way. If you've never built a Fujimi car kit, I would say Fujimi is one of the tops. Their detail. Now, I will tell you this: their plastic can be a little bit brittle. Just a note of caution, but their molding, the detail, the attention to detail is incredible. This was the first sports car that I ever really rode in. My parents' friends, Dr. Dennison, I'll never forget when I think I was 12 or 13. What year was this? This is I don't know what year. This has got to be 80.
Late 80s?
No, I think it's earlier 80s.
Really? Yeah.
But anyway, he brought this. I'll never forget. He brought it home. He brought it by my parents to show me this car, and he took me for a ride. And I was, ever since that day, I was like, oh my God, I love foreign sports cars, especially European sports cars. So as soon as I saw this brought back memories for me. But a lot of great, we got a lot to look at, Steve. Let's go. But a lot of wonderful people at a Harry's hobby show. Now listen, did you see this?
I saw that.
Steve, didn't we do an unboxing of this? I own this very kit. And let me tell you, Steve, he is only asking $500 for this kit. This kit is easily, I shouldn't even tell him, close your ears. This kit should be probably in the $2,000 range. And this is sealed. Like, this is the way it looked when I got mine. Was in the, of course, we took the cellophane off it so we could open it and look at all of the different parts. Considered, Porsche kits from 1974 were considered the most difficult kits in the world. These are still considered some of the most difficult model kits in the world to build. Some people, he was saying, they get to the engine and then they quit. That is a ongoing theme with a Porsche model kit. You'll get about a quarter of the way through the engine, and then you throw in the towel, and then it goes up for sale. That's usually what happens with these. Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm talking about. But I will be building it. I will not be giving up a quarter away through the engine. We will fight our way through. And it's going to be a lot of fun when we do it. But this is the kind of stuff you just never know. I had no idea this was going to be here today, but I would run down here and contact this gentleman and buy this. It's going to go. 50 years he's had it, Steve. But lots of cool stuff, a lot of vintage stuff, a lot of die-cast, a lot, like I said, tons of model cars. Now these look like resin bodies. Right, resin? Yes, sir. You cast these yourself?
I wish I did, but no.
Where are you? A lot of resin. Resin, for custom car model builders, big popular option. You can find a lot of great resin stuff. This gentleman's got a lot of different resins. Resin is a little bit different to work with versus regular plastic. You can't use regular glue, so don't even try because it won't work. You need to use a CA glue when you're gluing any resin parts. My recommendation is JD Superwell. That's what we like to use on resin parts. Very nice. What else we got? Oh, this is interesting. What is that? Is that a Chinese
That is a
Korean? Korean. You
That
know?
is actually a Mazda 323 that was made by Kia for the Korean market.
Wow.
In Korea.
Look at that. That is some interesting. You just never know what you're gonna find here. Thank you, sir.
You're very welcome, sir.
Lots of Matchbox. Lots of.
Everybody that you know that apple, the cherry.
Look at this.
Yes,
Drag bite. I have never seen this kit. Either one of these. That's pretty interesting.
What were they, $2?
That is really. I had no idea. You ever see? Oh, look at the drag knot.
Screwed on, too.
They were the biggest scale ones they had too of
The
that.
Roth, Big Daddy Roth.
And then the small Daddy.
More automotive models.
And when he was done with it, we took it to Seacon.
Lots of accessories. Now, I wanted to show you, Steve, something very interesting. Look at this.
Nice display.
Beautiful display. Now look at this, Steve. I would love to do an unboxing. In fact, I'll do kind of a mini unboxing. I'm not going to take anything out, but I'm going to look at, now this is a Ren Wall cutaway submarine model kit. I believe that Revell bought all of this and then they redid this model. This has to be from the 1950s. I don't know. Do you know what year this was from?
Early 60s?
I would say 50s,
It might be late
60s.
50s. It should be like
Yeah, let's look at this.
on the
Yeah, on the instruction sheet. But see, one side, Steve, is all clear. I remember this as a Revell kit. Look at that. You see the detail on the
I
inside.
forgot this company was out of New York.
Yeah.
New York.
Somebody started to assemble this at some point, so it has been started.
The later one I have, this no longer is clear.
Oh, it's no longer. Oh, that's the Revell one had just open. Oh yeah.
Well, they had that, but they had one of these also.
Yeah. I don't see the year in this. No year. No year, Steve, that I can see. I don't want to get too far into this. This isn't my kit, and I'm just kind of doing this on the fly. No year that I can see. This has to be very early 60s or 1950s, I would say. But very interesting. It was started, this kit was started by somebody, but very rare and unique. So if you want to find unique model kits, this is a good place. Harry's show is a good place to come to see. But lots of cool stuff. $160. But I think he said he would come down quite a bit on that price. All right. So we got lots of Matchbox, a lot of Hot Wheels. You got tons of model magazines over here. Now this is what I call Hot Rod Row here at Harry's Hobbies. You got every single car that you could possibly imagine. Look at this. This is really cool.
I was actually supposed to go to the Mid-Atlantic.
The Scarab. which was kind of modeled after the early Ferrari Testarossa from 1962, I believe.
Lance Revenant.
Yes, see, you would know. Here you got motorized. Oh, it's an old Indianapolis 500 with the Indianapolis 500 coming up next week. And I may as well mention my dear friend Dave O'Neill is the team manager and team principal for Juncus Hollinger. We have 2 cars. Watch them this week. Yesterday they qualified both cars. They were at I believe the number 12 fastest yesterday, which is great. So look for Juncus Hollinger. That's Stingray Rob. And then we have our other driver is Connor Daly. Those are our 2 drivers in the Indy 500. So please root for them, Juncus Hollinger. That's pretty cool though to see. Oh, look at this go-kart model kit. That's interesting. Oh, and you can, and these are electric. How about that? Man, look at this old AMT. Old AMT is actually better than new AMT, I have found. Old AMT was actually good. New AMT sucks. That's just my opinion. The Avanti. The ugliest front end of any car ever designed in the history of the automobile, but ironically, the best looking tail end of any car that was designed, in my opinion. I love the tail end of the Avanti, and the front end wants to make you vomit. Just my opinion.
Nice car, $289.
Yeah. But I'm looking for, more resin bodies, Steve. There you go. If you're still using this, find another hobby. That would be my opinion.
The great thing about that, it can be 50 years old and it's still good.
Well, of course. And if you throw it out, it'll last until we're all long gone from this earth.
It has a half-life of uranium.
Yes, exactly. Half-life of uranium. Ooh, now here's a cool looking model kit. I like this one. Look at that, a 1936 Ford. That is really cool. What brand is this? There's no brand on it. That's interesting. I hope he doesn't mind if I open it up. It's actually not a bad looking model. I don't know what brand this is though. There's no brand. I've never seen. I mean, how could I? There's no brand name. It's just like a generic.
Looks almost like a.
Oh, AMT. There we go. AMT. AMT. Before they were even AMT, they were nothing.
They're nothing.
What do you think of that? Your old decals. They still actually don't look bad. That's interesting. I wonder why they didn't have any brand on the model sheet. 1968 Stingray. Oh, that's cool. The old police emergency wagon. Well, we gotta move along. I could sit here all day, Steve. This will be a 4-hour video. We've got lots of. Now this is cool. This was one I was looking at that I may want to take home. You don't see many Austin Healey model kits, and I love the Austin Healey. Let's take a look at this. Hopefully nobody's going to yell at me for opening the models. Oh, it was already done. Nix that. That's a shame. That's a shame. I don't like doing pre-built models that have been started by anybody else. The Ford GT, another great. I don't know why they would stop making. Revell would stop making the Ford GT. It's such an iconic, especially with Ford versus Ferrari and everything else. People were clamoring for Ford GT kits. If I were Revell, I would have had this ready to go. Right after Ford versus Ferrari, I would have gone ahead and bought the license. This is a nice looking kit, actually. Now this one might be worth purchasing. The
It
tire.
has an engine.
Yes.
A lot of the Fujimi had some,
Yeah.
but they were just curbside.
Yeah, no, this is a nice looking kit. $25. I bet I could talk them down to 10. This was a terrible kit. I remember this one. This was awful. This was an awful kit. This one. Terrible kit. I remember this as a kid. It was terrible then. I'm sure it's still terrible. I love Mobius. Mobius makes some of the best subject matter for American vehicles in the business. The fit is great. The molding is great. The instructions are fantastic. If you've never built a Mobius kit, they are terrific. And some of the best pickup truck models that there is out there is the Mobius stuff. I love the Mobius. Big fan of Mobius. I've built a lot of them. Always come out great. Fantastic. Now this is interesting. This is an all. This is the graveyard of giving up, Steve. This is the graveyard of all the kits that people gave up on, and it's interesting to see this. This is my nightmare. When somebody says, "Hey, could you put together a model?" I did start it. And this is what I get in the mail. No, thank you. Look at this. A lot of tears in these boxes, Steve. Lots of tears. Lots of tears and a lot of empty vodka bottles. I bet there's some vodka bottles, empty vodka bottles in here, and nip bottles. I'm sure. Look at this. Oh my Lord. The graveyard of tears. What do we got? We got some big scale here. Oh, this is interesting. The old, isn't that Chris Craft? No. Yeah, this was Chris Craft. This was like 1970s Chris Craft, wasn't it? Or was it a Bayliner?
That would be more 1950s for that boat.
Yeah, but after they stopped
But
kind of
then,
making the wood
when
ones,
you had Bayliner,
this is
would be, yeah.
This is cool. I remember these. We had all the kids because their parents. I'm from Stuart, Florida, where we have the intercoastal and everything. Parents would buy the kids a crappy boat like this. A lot of Mad Dog 2020 was drinking on these boats. Lots of Mad Dog 2020, whatever beer we could steal from the parents' refrigerator. Didn't matter. That's what you did on a boat like this.
That's a boat right out of Flipper.
That is a boat out of Flipper. That's exactly right. That's an interesting one. The junk. Now this is a cool looking kit right here. Oh my God! Look at this. The Junkyard Dog. I've never seen this. Have you ever seen this, Steve?
I have.
And I guess it comes all beat up like this.
It does. Yeah,
Interesting.
the molding, it's all...
This is probably one of their kits that nobody could put together because it was so crappy. They said, you know what, let's come out and we're going to rename it the Junkyard Dog. Genius with AMT. You can't make any mistakes on
Well,
this.
they weren't selling the regular Mac version of that truck, so they decided to do it like that.
I built this not too. This was a good kit, curbside kit, a good Tamiya kit. If for anything interesting that grabs my attention, oh look at all the antique AMTs. Empty boxes. Oh, these are all empty boxes. That's a shame. But look at the original boxes. 1962, so this model would have been done probably in 1963 or 64. Very cool. I love the boxes. These are really cool. Where did you find all the empty boxes?
I'm just helping.
Oh, okay.
This is March stuff.
Look at that. It's really, the Rambler.
Oh, Rambler.
My dad had one of these. It was his bank car. They're like, yeah, we got a car you can use. It's the Rambler. Yeah, there we
My
go.
Aunt Mildred's, I had Ramblers.
Rambler was a cool looking car.
It was.
It was a piece of crap, but it was a cool looking car. We got more die-cast, lots of die-cast. Hey, how are you? Good to see you. We're doing our little video tour. How you doing? Very well. Let's go down here,
I saw that car at Watkins Glen.
Which one?
That Lancia Scorpio.
yeah.
Or the Lancia Monte Carlo.
Yeah. Okay. If you want to buy one of these today, you're going to be looking at about 800 grand. Easy 800. Near $1 million. Look, you can find everything here,
You
Steve.
can buy it over here for $20.
Or you can get it here for 20 bucks.
Yeah, so
Help yourself to the ketchup, mustard, and relish bar that we got here. They spare no expense on the food here at Harry's. This is gourmet. You know, you mix this, and you get this, and relish, and you get the secret sauce at McDonald's.
Beautiful.
So I mean, right there.
It's a gourmet meal.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, you can find all sorts of little collectibles. You know, Harry's shows are good for the kids too. If you want to come in and pick out something, it's not all expensive, you know, hard to build models. You can find yourself a cool Matchbox car or some antiques.
That's really
That
cool.
looks kind of like me.
It does. Oh,
Oh, that's a nice looking kit right there. Is this all complete? Again, was this started? No, it was not. Yes, it was started.
I hate that. That's why it's only $10.
Well, there you go. That explains it. My biggest frustration. Yeah. Oh, 6.4 GT. Who built this? Who built Jada? You can find it all, Steve. 57 Chevy AMT. I would say this is from the $1.57. 60s. 1960s. I bet that's probably a pretty cool kit. Old AMD Thunderbird, 125th scale. It was already built. I tell you, this is the show of cars, model cars. I haven't seen hardly any military kits except for the submarine, and there was one tank.
That much apart, but there's two of them, and then plexiglass.
I just got this kit, Steve. I'm gonna be doing this. I've been dying to do this and do it all, really dirty and old and everything else. I'm kind of excited to do this kit, even though it's an AMT. This was interesting, Steve. I'd never seen this before. A snap-tight locomotive kit. That is pretty cool.
they had a big boy in the Hudson.
Did they really? You could probably, even though it's snap tight, you could probably do a really nice version of this, all weathered and everything else. I'm going to open this up. It's all there too. That is cool.
They build up nice. I built that.
Did you? Finally a model you could handle.
That's right. When that first came out,
I wonder how much he wants for this.
on the bottom.
Huh?
I think it's on the bottom.
$20. I'm gonna come back and get this. This would be a fun little quick weekend build for my train lovers out there. I know I could weather this to make this thing look really, really cool.
They were popular with model railroaders because you could, if it was built correctly and with some added detail, you could park it on a siding on your HO train layout.
Oh, I gotcha. Is this HO scale?
Yes.
Very cool. I might come back and get that. How much do you want for the train?
$10.
Here we go. See, Vocal Plastic does buy model kits every
There you
once in a while. Here we go. This is going to be a good one. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Sure, why not? If it's free for me, I'll take 3.
Charge them 10.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Very cool. Lots of cool matchbox. Oh, finally, we've hit the military section, Steve. We hit the military section.
Got a deal on them.
The deal? What's the deal?
3 for 60.
3 for 60.
Yeah. Right now, it's all I got left. Take them. That's it. You're gonna be sorry that you didn't. For that price, that's cheap. 3 for 60. I had a bunch of them. I sold them all this morning.
I guess so.
That's all I got left.
Well, Steve, this is the end of the model room. We're going to go in and we're going to look at the models that I'm going to be judging for Best in Show. That's me.
That's the Pope.
That's
I thought you
me.
passed away.
His Eminence.
I thought you passed
No,
away.
I'm back. I'm the new Pope.
Hey, I thought he passed away.
I'm here. I took a break from
didn't-
over in Rome.
You didn't notice the white smoke coming out of the building?
Yeah, like so. You gonna wear the outfit too?
Oh, of course I am. I'm, you know, I'm on my day off.
All right.
It's Sunday. I'm on my day off.
There you go. You're wearing it. That's it, boss.
All right, we're going to go next door. Okay, Steve, now we are in the model contest room. And we're going to take a walk around and look at the competition. And later today, I'll be judging for Best in Show. Let me show you. If you haven't seen before, everybody, here's what they're vying for, ladies and gentlemen.
My V47 from Aurora is ready for paint.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
So, and then they got a lot of nice little plaques as well. The miscellaneous category. This could be a model of an old shoe. It could be a model of, you could do a one-to-one replica of dentures, your grandmother's teeth, you know, and add
That's
some
clever.
yellowing, add some salad in there. That could fall under the miscellaneous category. You know,
Very
it's
clever idea.
miscellaneous. It could be anything. And then you get into the sci-fi fantasy. You get all sorts of I mean, Harry's does a nice show. You know, friendly competition. Friendly competition. Now, I don't enter model contests. I've been down that. I've explained that before, but I don't mind judging. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Let's go. So here we are in the box stock race modified category.
Nice stuff.
Yeah, very nice.
Stingarine did a nice job on that.
Yeah.
Does my heart good to see some Corvettes in the show. And you know why, Jeff. You know why.
Now this gentleman, these kits, he was telling me these kits are out of Europe, and they are they're plastic kits. But this company, I forget the name of it, focuses on rally cars, European rally cars, and the kits, from what I've seen, are fantastic. And he did an absolute fantastic job. Steve, zoom in on a couple of these things. I mean, just outstanding, outstanding. Now these are curbside models. And then competition non-drag category. Nice Ford GT. I wonder if that's the model we were just looking at. I built this thing. Worst decals on planet Earth. This thing, the decals on this kit. There's going to be a lot of drinking involved after doing all these decals. You're either going to do a lot of drinking or you're going to throw this thing against the wall. Those are your two options right here on this one. But a lot of beautiful models. That's a Corvette, and with a bubble top on it. And then I just sold my Supra. I had a 2022 Supra, and I just sold it not too long ago. I love this car. It was a fantastic car. It just wasn't very practical in New England. Rear-wheel drive and zero storage space. Just beautiful. A lot of good, solid car model builders here. Beautiful. I love them. These are, I was walking through.
They'll never do that.
These are terrific.
Oh,
You take a look at this fire engine. When I first looked at this, I thought this was linguine, dried linguine. That's what I thought.
That would, that's a clever idea.
Then a closer look, I was like, oh wait, those look just like fire hoses. So they're not linguine. They are.
Linguine would have a
You
good texture.
could use a linguine for that. I don't want to touch anything, but what an outstanding job! Whoever did this. Now this was an AMT kit right here. I always say this: if you're gonna work on an AMT kit like these, best for somebody who is on death row. If you're on death row with tons of time on your hands, then I would encourage you to start one of these. If you're a normal person, forget about it. Forget about it. This person definitely is probably not here because it's locked up in a mental institution someplace, I would imagine. Or on death row, and he shipped these out, He's awaiting his sentencing, probably. He's waiting for his date with destiny, probably. Wouldn't you say?
I would.
Yeah, small scale. They did an absolute beautiful job on this elf. Very nice job.
Beautiful car right here.
Yeah, gorgeous. Vintage beatnik is really excellent job on this. Beautiful wiring, beautiful ignition wires, and very nice job. I know the gentleman in Michigan that owns this actual car. This is the Monkey's car, and I've actually ridden in this exact car, the actual real car. It's owned by a gentleman. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but he's in Michigan. He owns a bunch of the movie cars. I love the old. I wish people made more of these kits, of the old, Studebaker's, the old Duesenbergs, the old Packards, the iconic old cars from the 20s and 30s. There's not many people making kits like this anymore, which is a shame. Now we come over here. We got the military section. Beautiful. I love the C-47 Skytrain. It's beautiful. Very nicely done. Oh, look at that. Oh, is that a yeah. That's the Tamiya kit. What a beautiful kit. That is gorgeous. They did a great job on that. That is outstanding. Beautiful work. Very nice. Yeah. Very good. There's some very nice stuff. Then you got some dioramas over here, Steve. I love the OV10 Bronco. This is a kit I have yet to do. I want to do it. I don't know if this is the Rodin. Oh, Academy. Academy. Very nicely done. Beautiful dioramas. I love this construction one. That's really cool.
Oh my goodness.
You're gonna have to probably put it over there in the corner.
All right, let's go over here. Steve, I just did this model, and it is in this issue of Magneto magazine that just came out on newsstands. This isn't mine, but this gentleman or whoever it was did a very nice job on theirs. Fun kit to do. Fun kit. But if you look at the Magneto issue that just came out, you can see my version of that exact model. Now this is cool. That is a very nice looking, with the sand, the dirt on the tires and everything else. They did a very, very nice job on that. You got a lot of beautiful with the working lights. Stunner. Street machines. That's this class. I love this, all rusted out. Very nicely done. I love doing rust, and this person did a very, very nice job. Very nice job. Yeah, look at did you see all the cabling in the back, all of the ignition wires and everything else? What a super job. 240. I love the two. These things you used to be able to get for $500. Now you'd be lucky to find one under $100,000.
Like a 510.
Yeah. You got some big scale. Very nice. It's the monogram. There's a lot of good work being done here at the Harry's Hobbies Spectacular in the Expo, RTS Expo Club. Can't forget RTS. They're the ones who are putting on the contest and doing it. Oh, beautiful motorcycle.
Dodge 800.
Nicely
Put it on the
done.
Richard Petty Hall.
This is cool. All Firebird with all the beer cans and everything on the inside. And
I put a Dodge, the LD800.
here you go. That's a good scale to work on. I would go nuts.
The little red one.
Well, these are mine.
Yeah,
Here we go. We got
job.
the bunch of beautiful trucks. I love the military trucks. These are fantastic. Very nicely done. I love the refueler. So cool.
Right, you don't like the 38 car? 38
I do
GMC?
like the 30. I like all of it.
Look at the wheel covers.
I saw it. You showed me.
Those are fun to find. The wheel covers. Hubcaps.
Clear
Those on
bodies.
decals.
I built that not too long ago. This is beautiful. What a beautiful job they did on this. That is really nicely done. Really nicely done. Nice McLaren. Senate.
David Pearson drove these.
Yeah.
He was still smoking. There was a
Yes,
cigarette
he had a
lighter.
cigarette lighter that he had installed. Yep.
Pretty good story.
One of my most favorite cars of all time is the Renault Turbo 2. There was a dealership in my town of Stuart, Florida, and it sold some exotic cars. And I remember they had a white Renault Turbo 2 there. And I used to drive by and look in the window or walk by and just stare at this Turbo 2. Now they just came out with a new Turbo 2. If you haven't seen it, it's incredible. I don't think it's been released yet, but it's coming out like in the next few months. It's unbelievable. I don't know if it's going to be available in the United States or not.
The plain old Renault Le was a pile of junk.
Oh, well, yeah, but we're talking about the Renault Turbo 2 here. Beautiful, beautiful job. Boy, this is going to be tough to pick best to show. I'll tell you that much. It's going to be tough. Look at the beautiful wiring of this engine. What a great. This car, that's fantastic as well. This car, the Motown Missile, when I did one of my car shows in Michigan, we had the actual Motown Missile at the show. So, unbelievable. Really cool to see it in a scale model of it. They did an outstanding job. Beautiful, beautiful job. And then we have our Baby Yoda section. Sci-fi fantasy, of course. Very nice figure painting.
Little Yoda's almost like a Fabergé egg.
Yeah, kind of like that. Yeah, exactly like a Fabergé egg. Not a Cadbury egg.
No.
I tell you, some really nice competition is going to be very
That
nice.
rabbit is the same color as my first car.
Oh, really?
I had a 77 rabbit.
Yeah. A lot of dope being smoked in that thing, probably. I would imagine. Well, Steve, what do I have to say? I have to say this to you. Unbelievable. No, come on through. Absolutely.
Thanks.
Yeah. All I want to say is fantastic competition. It is going to be very hard to pick a best in show, but what a fantastic day here at Harry's Hobbies in the RTS model show. Just fantastic. You got to come out to the next one. And we're going to have some exciting things coming up over the next few months, some announcements. And don't forget, this was a very special episode of Vintage Unboxings at Harry's. We did manage to unbox a few things, Steve.
I thought it was
and
great.
vintage stuff. So we're not too far off of what we normally do.
Not at all.
But next week we will get back to unboxings. So we are going to show a little bit when we get to Best in Show. We're going to share with you the actual picking of the Best in Show, and I'll be awarding the Popoplastic Trophy, the most prestigious trophy in all of, not even just events in general. It's the most prestigious. You know, I know they got the Borg Warner coming up for the Indianapolis 500,
No, I
but
think the Pope will be.
it's got nothing on the Popoplastic Trophy.
Not at all.
Nothing, you know. So I'll be very thrilled to give that away. So tune in. We're going to show some more here in a little bit with the Best in Show. But I hope you enjoyed seeing the model kits and the model builds. And stay tuned for the Best in Show ceremony.
Shelf model race class sponsored by Q Car Care. 67 Charger.
Jeez Louise, we got some problems.
67 Charger.
Is that Shelf Models Race, Tony?
That is Shelf Models Race.
Right here, I don't know who built it.
Mike Muller.
Mike Muller.
One more time.
Mike Muller.
Mike Mullen, you are the winner of the Shelf Models class.
That's Shelf Model Race, yeah.
Hey, you got the secret going in there now.
There he is.
Yeah, there we go. Congratulations.
Which one? Shelf model race?
Yeah, thank you. Let's get with it.
Congratulations. I'm not sure which kit was that.
I believe it was a 67 Charger.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay. All set? Shelf Model Street Legal sponsored by Q Car Care. AAR CUDA. Street Legal. AAR CUDA.
We can pause in between. We're gonna have to. AMT kits in my lifetime, and I don't have a whole lot of good things to say about AMT, to be honest with you. A lot of drug usage over at the AMT factory. But I can tell you, this gentleman, he did an exceptional job. How this man is not in a mental asylum, I have no idea. But I can tell you this, he can build one hell of a model. He's got he has a few models here that I was just leveled by, and I got to tell you, I got to give the best in show too, and I'm sure this was stiff competition, but I think a lot of people will agree that the 1970 International Pumper is best in show. And that is somebody can hold this microphone for me so I can get the trophy. There you are, sir. The first Popoplastic Best in Show Award. Congratulations. You know, there's the Borg Warner Trophy. There's the Daytona 500 Trophy. There's the Masters Trophy.
Now there's the Pope Trophy.
The Popoplastic Trophy, which stands up here.
Stand there and hold the mic, Charlie.
Congratulations. Would you like to say something about the build itself? Because here, let's get over to the microphone here. I'm gonna hold this. And, you can spare no expense on the audio equipment for this, over the trash can.
Over the trash can.
Don't let my trophy fall in the trash can. By the way. Sir, can
Maybe
you just
I should set it down.
Yeah, you can say no. It makes a good visual here. We are on videotape.
okay. All right.
Sir, can you tell us a little bit about this build?
It's a combination of things. How many of you know who Dave Natal was from AITM? He actually cast the cab for me, and then the AMT kit was used for the body. A lot of little details that I just pulled out of the parts box. It's a companion piece to the Rio that's inside of it, because I felt that a rescue squad certainly needs to have a pumper along with it, otherwise it isn't going to do much good. And I had an extra international cab to work with, so I put the two together. Some of the details that just come out of the shop are the hose, which is sewing elastic, which you can buy in any craft store. The decals are home done. I have a computer and an Alps printer, so that helps. The paint on it is just VHT engine paint. It's Ford blue. But I thought it was a beautiful color. Actually, the color came from an actual rescue that looks like the Rio that's on the table. It came out of Port View, Pennsylvania. So I simply modeled the Port View truck, but put my own label on it. But there's a lot of little small parts that were made by myself using brass material. I do a lot of resin casting of tires and wheels. So it's a combination of things just pulled together from various sources that put the truck together. And that's about it.
Well, I would say a couple things here. When I looked at the hoses, I thought they were dried linguine. But then when I looked closer, you couldn't eat those. And then number two, you're one of 3 people left in the country that has an Alps printer. By the way, so you have to be running Windows 93 in order to run an Alps printer.
Windows XP will work.
Yeah, Windows XP. Yeah.
Peter
Okay.
Winuski's got one.
So that alone should win you best in show, just owning an Alps printer. Because
Yeah.
the people who don't know, they are
I've had it for a number of
ridiculously
years.
difficult to.
Oh, the nice part about it is it prints white, which nobody
Right,
else
exactly,
does.
white and metallic. So, ladies and gentlemen, what a build. Congratulations, you're very, very good. Everybody, congratulations to everybody. It was a very, very difficult choice. Thank you, everybody. We will see you again. Thanks for participating. Thank you to Harry's and everybody who put so much work into this show. It's a really good one, and hope to see you here next time. So, thank you so much for participating. Plastic says